Top 5 nightmarish monsters that could ruin your Christmas. Christmas is a holiday celebrated around the world. What was once the holiday of Yuletide turned into Christmas and became a federal holiday in the United States all the way back in 1870. There are many cultures and traditions celebrated around Christmas, the most common being Christmas trees, gift-giving, and Santa Claus. People around the world love Christmas, and it's been celebrated in one form or another for almost 2,000 years now. It's one of the most cheerful holidays of the year, and many people look forward to it. But there are also scary stories of mythical creatures that spread Christmas evil rather than Christmas cheer. In this video, we'll cover 5 of the scariest monsters we know that could completely ruin your Christmas if you ever ran into them. Before we get started, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content coming soon. Now, let's jump into the video. Frau Perchta. Frau Perchta is an alpine goddess. Her name means bright one. She is one of the many goddesses in the Germanic pantheon. She sometimes appears to people as young, beautiful, and pale. However, she also often appears as an ugly old woman. She performed a similar role to the Santa Claus of today. She knew whether children were bad or good, and she would give the good children small silver coins. But unlike Santa, who merely gives coal to misbehaving children, Frau Perchta would slit their bellies open and replace their innards with pebbles and straw. You may think that this would be fine, as long as you behave, right? Well, be on your guard, because you're not out of the woods yet. Frau Perchta also killed anyone who ate something other than fish and gruel on the night of her feast day. And as the goddess of spinning flax, she would also punish you for leaving work undone by slitting your stomach open. She also inspired a cult of followers who had hoped to receive great wealth under her guidance. However, this cult is no longer around today, as it was condemned as early as 1439 and dissolved entirely a few decades later. Modern traditions considered Perchta a rewarder of the generous and punisher of liars, and she still has a large amount of respect. Every winter, large processions are held where people wear one of 2 kinds of masks: a beautiful one to encourage good fortune, and an ugly one to drive away evil spirits. What do you think of Frau Perchta? Let us know in the comments below. Belsnickel. Belsnickel is a companion of St. Nicholas in German folklore. While most German depictions of Santa Claus have him rewarding the good children, they usually leave the dirty work of punishing bad children to other folk characters, Krampus being the most famous. Belsnickel is a masked man who does both. He rewards good children with cakes and candy and punishes naughty children by beating them with a switch. Stories of Belsnickel eventually made their way over to Pennsylvania. Belsnickel would show up in the middle of the night a week or 2 before Christmas. He would tap on the door with his switch and have children answer a question or sing a song for him. If they did as he asked, he would reward them with candy. But if the children were greedy and jumped for the candy too quickly, Belsnickel would beat them for their impatience, greed, and gluttony. Belsnickel dresses in tattered fur clothing and often wears a mask with a long tongue on it. He sometimes wears bells, and on Christmas Eve, young men would dress up as him and rattle chains and bells through village streets. In pop culture, Belsnickel was the main antagonist of the 2020 Netflix film The Christmas Chronicles 2, with the goal of destroying Christmas. After hearing the story of Belsnickel, do you think actor Julian Dennison did a good job of playing Belsnickel? Gryla. Gryla is a giantess in Norse mythology. While folktales of her and her husband Lepaludi go back as far as the 13th century, she only became a Christmas figure in the 17th century. Old talks describe Gryla as an enormous, repulsive beggar who asked parents to give her their disobedient children. Parents would easily get rid of her by giving her food, or even just chasing her away. However, more modern folktales of Gryla depict her as far more capable. She leaves her cave during Christmas time and kidnaps children, putting them in a giant sack. She'll then turn them into a stew and gobble them up. The naughty children are her favorite, as they taste better. She's also on her third marriage. Apparently, kidnapping and eating children wasn't an attractive quality to her first two husbands. Her third husband, Lepaludi, doesn't do much and simply lazes around at home in their cave with their cat, the Yule Cat. The Yule Cat is also fearsome, eating people who haven't received any gifts of clothing before Christmas Eve. While this may seem strange, it likely propagated to get farmers to finish their work in before Christmas came along. Those who worked would get new clothes, while those who didn't would simply be devoured. Kraila also has a few children, but they don't live with her anymore. This is because they're up to their own mischief and are known as the Yule Lads. The Yule Lads are the 13 sons of Kraila and her 3 husbands. They're devilish pranksters, and each of them arrives on a different night before Christmas. While more modern depictions of the Yule Lads have them leaving gifts and shoes to obedient children and leaving potatoes in the shoes of disobedient ones, their original stories are kind of out there. Each one arrives on a new day and stays in town, harassing people. They also have crazy names. The first Yule Lad is Sheepcoat Claude, who harasses sheep. Then there's Gullygawk, who steals milk. Stubby steals unwashed pans to eat the crusty food that's left on them. Spoonlicker steals spoons and, well, licks them. That's all he eats, and he's apparently very thin because of that. Potscraper is like Stubby, but steals pots instead of pans. Bowl Licker steals bowls and also licks them clean from leftover food. Door Slammer slams doors in the middle of the night to wake people up. Skeel Gobbler just really likes yogurt and will do anything to get his hands on it. Sausage Swiper hides in rafters to swipe sausages. Window Peeper looks through windows to see if there's anything worth stealing. Doorway Sniffer uses his huge nose to locate bread to eat. Meat Hook uses a hook to steal meat. And Candle Stealer follows children home so he can steal their candles, which, at the time, were made from edible tallow. And those are the Yule Lads. Which one is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Kallikansaros. The Kallikansaros are harbingers of the end of times, according to old Greek myths. As the story goes, they seek to chop down the tree that holds up the earth, known as the World Tree. Since this tree is so large, it takes them all year to chop through it. But when Christmas comes around, since it's one of the darkest times of the year, the Kallikansaros are able to come to the surface to bring tricks, mischief, and despair. They can only stay until January 6th, though, which is the Feast of the Epiphany, and must then scurry back underground. Unfortunately, by then, the World Tree has healed from their sawing, and they have to start the whole process all over again. While they spend their time on Earth, there are a few ways to keep them from harassing you. The best way was to put a colander on the doorstep. The story goes that the Kallikansaros can't count above 2, as 3 was considered a holy number, and by counting to 3, the Kallikansaros would die. When a Kallikansaros reached a doorstep with a colander on it, they would count and count the holes until the sun rose again, unable to ever count the full number. They also entered through chimneys, so leaving a fire on all night would prevent them from entering your home. Some would even go as far as throwing smelly old shoes into the fireplace to keep the Kallikansaros out. The Kallikansaros vary in appearance, but are often pitch black, humanoid, and furry. They're usually depicted as similar to goblins. They usually also have tails and sometimes have donkey ears, long tongues, and huge heads. They lisp when they talk, are mostly blind from spending so much time underground, and love eating worms and frogs. Legend has it the children born within the 12 days of Christmas, which start on Christmas Day and go until the Epiphany, could possibly turn into a Kallikansaros once they reached adulthood. Were you born between the 25th of November and 6th of January? If so, watch out, or you may turn into one of these foul creatures yourself. Thanks for watching the video so far. We hope you've enjoyed these strange Christmas creatures. And as some bonus content, we've got another famous one coming up just for you. Leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe for more content coming up soon. Bonus: Krampus. Perhaps one of the most famous Christmas demons, Krampus would punish the bad children that Santa wouldn't deal with on his own. Krampus, while initially feared, has grown into something of a pop culture icon, with people celebrating his arrival in the Krampusnacht festival and giving people gift cards that prominently feature him. We've got a lot to say about Krampus, and we've already done a full video covering some of his most interesting aspects. If you're interested, why not consider checking it out? We think Krampus is a pretty interesting demon, and maybe after watching that video, you will too. Thanks for watching our video. Looking for more? Check out this playlist. Don't forget to check out our video covering Krampus in more detail. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss more videos by us. We've got more videos about the darker side of Christmas coming up soon. Why not leave a comment down below about which Christmas cryptid was your favorite? Anyway, we'll see you in the next video. Take care.